Inside every saint lives a sinner. Inside every villain beats a human heart. We are all capable of extraordinary love and unthinkable darkness. The same mind that creates can destroy. The same hands that heal can harm. But who decides which voice wins? At The Unheard, we explore the thin line between hero and monster, because understanding the darkness is how we choose the light. And at The Unheard, we bring you the stories that shaped humanity, the choices that changed everything, the voices that were silenced. If you have a story, both good or evil, share it with us at unheard@cc.cc.
Chapter 1. Sparks of a Genius. In the heart of Hollywood, in 1957, the richest man in America simply disappeared. For 4 months, one of the world's most famous billionaires sat naked in a chair. His diet consisted of Hershey's chocolate bars and milk. His only companions were the movies that played on a loop day and night, and the dozens of Kleenex boxes he would spend hours obsessively stacking and rearranging. His employees wait outside, not daring to disturb him. This story is about the mind of one of the most brilliant and daring in America. This story is how a mind can begin to collapse under its own weight. This story is about Howard Hughes.
But what led the world's most successful billionaire to become an eccentric recluse? To understand the ghost of Howard Hughes, you must know the god he once was. At 11, he built Houston's first wireless radio transmitter. At 12, he engineered a motorized bicycle from his father's steam engine parts. His inheritance wasn't a cushion, it was a launch pad. In his youth, he was a skilled golfer, playing alongside the legends of the sport. He arrived in Hollywood to conquer the movie industry, but he also came to conquer its stars. A dashing billionaire with a flyer's grin, he swept actresses off their feet with lavish gifts, private plane rides, and promises of stardom. But beneath the charm lay a velvet cage, his obsession with control casting a shadow over every romance. First came Billy Dove. In the late 1920s, Hughes, barely 20, paid her husband $325,000 to step aside, clearing his path to her. Then Jean Harlow, the blonde bombshell actress of his 1930 epic Hell's Angels. Hughes cast her after a steamy affair, parading her at the premiere like a trophy. Jane Russell was next, just 19 when Hughes spotted her photo. Howard Hughes once designed a special bra to accentuate her figure, halting filming over a blouse wrinkle he deemed catastrophic. Their bond lasted years. Ava Gardner, the sultry goddess, fell into his orbit in the 1940s. Hughes flew her to secret getaways, his gifts dazzling, but his surveillance, hidden microphones, shadowed cars, smothered her spirit. She later broke free to wed Sinatra. He chased others, Ginger Rogers, whose dance defied his schedules, Rita Hayworth, whose romance ended in fiery rows and dark rumors of a forced choice. The sisters Olivia de Havilland and Joan Fontaine, both wooed with roles and proposals. These weren't just affairs, they were power plays, shaping Hollywood's golden age. Hughes collected stars like trophies, his RKO empire a stage for his desires. But each woman who walked away left a crack in his myth. But even at the height of his fame, his invincibility was an illusion. In 1936, driving through Los Angeles, he struck and killed a pedestrian. Arrested for negligent homicide, the charges vanished after a key witness suddenly changed their story.
Chapter 2. The Making of a Dreamer.
The ambition of Howard Hughes was limitless. For the World War I epic Hell's Angels, he spent nearly $4 million, an insane amount at the time, and took 4 years to shoot it. He didn't just produce the movie, he bled for it, personally flying stunts and crashing a plane. It was a pattern. He crashed a seaplane into Lake Mead in '43, killing 2 others. His body paid the price, but his legend grew. Then, in 1938, He flew around the world in record time. He returned to America a god. A ticker tape parade in New York City hailed him as a hero. Congress awarded him a gold medal. Aviators gave him their highest honors. He was Howard Hughes, the handsome, brilliant mind who could bend the world to his will. But his obsession with the sky wasn't just about thrills, it was about perfection. In 1935, he personally designed and built the H-1 Racer, a revolutionary plane years ahead of its time. In it, he shattered the world land-plane speed record, hitting 352 miles per hour. 2 years later, he flew it from Los Angeles to Newark in just over 7 hours, breaking the transcontinental speed record. He wasn't just a pilot, he was redefining what was possible. He demanded absolute control over everything. Then in 1946, he faced something he couldn't control. While test piloting a new spy plane, the XF-11, the plane spiraled, crashing in a fireball into a Beverly Hills home. He survived, but barely. His body was shattered. He would be left with chronic, agonizing pain for the rest of his life. But even broken, his mind never stopped working. Trapped in his hospital bed, he designed a new adjustable bed with buttons to move it, a prototype for the modern hospital bed we use today. It was a pain that would change him forever, pushing him deeper into isolation and a dangerous new obsession, a dependency on painkillers like codeine and morphine to simply exist. His critics called him a failure, a war profiteer who never delivered. They called his giant wooden airplane, the Spruce Goose, a boondoggle that would never fly. In 1947, hauled before a Senate committee, Hughes fought back. Then, to silence them all, he did the impossible. Hughes personally piloted the plane on its first and only flight, proving it could indeed get airborne, albeit briefly. This act silenced many of his critics and cemented his reputation as a daring innovator willing to defy the odds.
Chapter 3. Descent into Darkness.
Hughes was a titan. He revolutionized air travel, turning trans-world airlines into a global powerhouse with gleaming jet aircraft. His company, Hughes Aircraft, pushed the boundaries of innovation, but the spotlight burned too bright. Legal battles over wartime contracts, like the Spruce Goose, drained his energy. By the 1950s, Hughes's eccentricities took hold. His obsessive-compulsive disorder spiraled, fueling a paralyzing fear of germs. He shunned public appearances, hid behind aides, and relied on painkillers after a near-fatal 1946 plane crash. Then, in 1966, Hughes rolled into Las Vegas like a storm. He claimed the penthouse of the Desert Inn, and when told to leave, he bought the place for $13 million. This was just the start. From 1967 to 1970, he snapped up casinos and hotels, the Sands, Frontier, Castaways. He scooped up land that would become Summerlin, reshaping Las Vegas from a mob-run playground to a corporate empire. In a secret move, he loaned $205,000 to Donald Nixon, brother of Richard Nixon. Some historians whisper this deal sparked the 1972 Watergate break-in, with burglars hunting for proof of the transaction. From his penthouse, Hughes pulled strings no one could see. Sealed in darkened hotel suites, he lived in near total isolation. His only link to the world was the Mormon Mafia, a loyal cadre of aides who guarded his secrets and followed his bizarre rituals. They tracked down gallons of his favorite discontinued ice cream and managed his billion-dollar empire through handwritten memos. Hughes ate the same meal nightly, steak and peas, painstakingly sorting the peas by size, eating only the smallest. Long hair, untrimmed nails, and a refusal to bathe turned his wealth into squalor. In his terror of germs, he even stored his urine in sealed glass jars. By 1970, Hughes fled Las Vegas, drifting through hotels in the Bahamas, Mexico, and London. Frail, malnourished, and addicted, Hughes was a ghost of his former self,
barely tipping the scales at 100 pounds. His aides, more enablers than caretakers, couldn't stop the decline. Legal battles over TWA and scams gnawed at his $1.5 billion fortune. On April 5, 1976, Hughes died aboard a plane to Houston, seeking medical help too late. The autopsy told a grim story: kidney failure, malnutrition, and drug overdoses. He was unrecognizable, marked by needle scars, a shadow of the titan he'd been.
Howard Hughes, a man of brilliance and obsession, built empires yet imprisoned himself. His mind, a battlefield of innovation and compulsion, shows us that genius and darkness can walk hand in hand. So we ask again, in the quiet corners of the mind, who decides which voice wins, the light or the darkness? If you dare to explore the shadows of human ambition, subscribe to the Unheard.